Come on.
We are. We're always recording, Tory.
We're always recording. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you like the shirt. This is my Kobe and Gigi shirt.
I see that. I'm crying right now, man. That's great.
Yeah. He just today he was announced to be the legend cover athlete for the new 2K that's coming out next year. Or actually this year in late August, early September, like September 3rd or something like that. Anyway, to be expected. He better be.
Yeah.
I appreciate your enthusiasm on this subject, Cord. Can you settle down a little bit? You're a little loud for me right now. If you could just calm yourself about this, that would be great.
A little bit softer.
A little bit softer.
Give me a 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome to the Cord and Tory podcast show, starring me and starring Tory.
This guy. And Cord, we are on episode number 69, getting close to one of my favorite numbers of 70. We were one episode away from that. How do you feel about that?
I feel great and transfixed because why is 70? Did I know
that? It's not. It's just like an introduction to our podcast, kind of a lead-in. You said that 68 was one of your favorite numbers last time.
Well, I had a legitimate reason. My favorite hockey player, Jaromir Jagr, was number 68, and is still 68. He plays overseas because he's like 46 years old. And
they still play that old overseas?
He owns his own hockey team in the Czech Republic, so he's gonna play forever.
Get out of here. He's like, look, no one wants me. I have arthritis. I can hardly get up after any hit, but you know what? I'm gonna own my own gosh darn team, and that's why I'm gonna be able to play forever.
Yeah, but no, he's quite good still. He doesn't keep up as well. His last year in the NHL was a little disappointing for him, and he said, I'm going to take a year off and work out and then come back, but then that was like 3 years ago, so no one believes he can come back at this point. But
so what you're telling me is he's quite good compared to all the Czechs he's playing against.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. Let's jump to movies. Actually,
there's too much sports talk. Yeah, we don't want to hear about Kobe. We don't want to hear about your old arthritic favorite hockey player.
That's mean.
Whatever his name is,
Jaromir Jagr.
Sure.
Tory, I do want to hear. You and I think have wildly different opinions on this movie news that came out this week. So they're gonna. Shocker, the word reboot is probably going to be used 17 times during this podcast. They're planning to reboot the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the help of Seth Rogan. Your take, please. 5 minutes, go.
As long as he doesn't voice Michelangelo, I am all for it. I can't stand like him in animated movies. Like Seth Rogen's cool. I don't like hearing his voice in any animated character because it sounds too specifically like Seth Rogen. So it's going to take me like completely out of to hear him say "Cowabunga, dude," and like do this little stupid laugh afterwards. Like, come on, man. I don't want to hear Seth Rogen say "It's pizza time" or like interact. You know what? I might not mind him being Casey Jones. Him being Casey Jones might be okay. Do you remember who Casey Jones is?
Well, he's the only hockey player in all of like movies, action adventure films. So yes, I do.
See, again, back to the hockey. I thought we were moving past this, but anyway, yes. If he were to play maybe Casey Jones, then maybe. But I don't know, man. TMNT is one of my favorite childhood cartoons of all time. I was incredibly into it. I still have, man. Just thinking about this, at my mom's house, I still have. I gotta say, like over 24 of the VHS tapes of the cartoons of like each episode of the animated series from back in like the 90s, late 80s. I have like VHS tapes at my mom's house. So
those you should sell those. Those gotta be worth something on eBay. Those the artwork cover alone, you know.
Probably. I got to do is dust them off and ship them out. So if any of our loyal Cord and Tory podcast fans know how much those are going for, please comment in the comments below or send us a message on any of our socials. But yeah, I don't know, man. I forget. Is it going to be live action or animated? I think it's going to be animated, right? It's not live action.
I would assume it's live action. I just read a headline and I jumped to all these conclusions. It has to be
you know
live
what?
action.
No, I think it's animated because I remember them making a reference to the last animated movie Seth Rogan did, which was Sausage Party. So I think it is animated. And how many times can you reboot something? Like in the span of 15 years, this has been rebooted like 6 times. And so it's and how many different takes can you have on TMNT?
You're right. You're
So
right. It's a CG movie reboot, so it'll
it
be fully animated. You're right.
yeah, man. And so look, man, I love what, not to compare it with Marvel specifically, but I love the reboot of Spider-Man
Hmm.
in this last incarnation. He kind of was introduced very quickly into the Civil War,
Yeah.
but then his movie Homecoming, you didn't start with the origin story. You didn't start with him getting bit by the spider. You just kind of went into it because we all know the origin story of Spider-Man at this point,
Right.
right?
Right. Yeah.
So if they kind of go like already having the moment before. The moment before is a term that many people in the filmmaking industry use. Directors, writers, actors. For instance, when I go into an audition, the audition usually starts in the middle of the story, and even if it begins at the beginning of the script, you have to come in with the knowledge or the understanding of what was this character's moment before, what led him to this point, what is his or her motivation in this particular moment in the
What's
scene,
my motivation?
right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So,
Context.
so if we already understand the moment before and them being turtles who get into ooze and morph into or mutate into these mutant turtles, then okay, great. But I really don't want to see like them being in the ooze again and starting from the origin story. I don't want
Yeah.
any more
Yeah.
TMNT origin stories.
So Tori, as you've spoken about this, I think my thoughts have become clear. Um, I, I, what they cannot do with this reboot is what they did with the last movie, the last two movies, Out of the Shadows and this, I don't know, the second one or whatever, but the ones made by Michael Bay. The problem with those ones was they were trying to,
It was directed by Michael Bay,
I,
produced by
um,
Nana.
um, they were trying to please 8-year-old, mainly
Yeah,
boys, but also the fathers and the generation that grew up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And
yeah, yeah.
and that movie, like I've watched a lot of kids movies. Okay, like my son has seen them all, and I've seen them all alongside with him.
Remind
Um,
me to come back to this. I have a question for you, but
okay,
continue.
okay. But basically, like you can see, especially in the second movie, the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, where it's just not like the plot has gotten too complicated and too kind of dark in ways
Yeah, yeah,
for kids to appreciate it, for kids to feel like it's a fun movie, like it
right.
stops being fun and it starts becoming like a Marvel movie. So like you can't please both sections at once.
It's
It's
really
with
difficult
some
to.
things, yeah, it's really difficult to. With some genre, with some brands, with some movies, you kind of do. You make sacrifices though. When you push this way, you pull from here, and when you
Right.
push this way, you pull from here. Like it just happens, you know. And I think with this movie, they just have to come out front and say, okay, this movie is for the 8-year-olds, or this movie is. You can't really do a movie for like that the older generation, like you're just not gonna, you're gonna cut down on your profits too much, and it's, you know, the movie's gonna be expensive to make anyway. So like they really just got to come out of the gate and say, okay, it's for the 8-year-olds. Let's make an 8, you know, like let's
Right.
let's
What is
satisfy
your
these.
target demographic? I want to know that. Who are you making this movie for? Are you making it for the fans of our generation, or are you making it for the kids? Either is fine. It's really challenging to successfully pull off a demographic for both audiences.
Yeah, like you can absolutely do it, and it's been proven time and time again. But you a great point, a great example is in the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. They have this scene explicitly for the fathers in the audience where Megan Fox, it's like in the first 10 minutes of the movie, Megan Fox, it's a Michael Bay like commercial music video shot basically, where she practically undresses on screen And it almost made me uncomfortable with my son being there, because I'm like, my son's not attracted by this, but he's obviously like, wow, why is this happening? Like this
Sure.
is, like, this doesn't have anything to do with the scene or the scene coming up, or it's not revisited again, but it's just 10 seconds for the fathers, and it's 10 seconds too much. Like you just can't do those things. And there's a litany of those examples throughout those movies that, obviously kind of distract the viewer.
It's just like having like a random Carl's Jr. commercial where you have like this woman in like the bikini and like the little short shorts leaning up against a car and like eating a burger, and like the sauce drips down like on her, like her shirt or her, and it's like, we get it, but it's not necessary. Like, why do you have this here? It doesn't make sense.
Sure.
So
And,
are you a fan of Seth Rogen?
I am, absolutely. I have enjoyed a lot of his movies. They could have announced anyone teaming up in this movie, and I would have been like, okay, that's great, that's fine. I think he's fine.
I have faith in him. I have faith in movies that he's produced as well, and not even starred in. So I don't know. I want to know more information. I want to know what this take will be. Again, I usually try to give the benefit of the doubt before passing judgment, at least before like a first trailer, an initial trailer. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I don't know. I better not hear his little chuckle after, saying cowabunga, dude. Like,
so you really think you would be okay with him playing Casey Jones? None of the turtles, like?
No, absolutely not. No, I was being facetious, but no, he's too old and too chubby to play Casey Jones.
Yeah, but
I like the last guy who played Casey Jones. Do you remember him? Stephen Amell, and he also is starred in The Green Arrow.
Okay.
Arrow, yeah.
That was him. Casey Jones. I've watched that movie so many times, and he played a little bit of hockey. Yeah. I remember. And he was a cop though, which was kind of a weird, right? He was.
I don't remember that.
I think so.
Casey Jones isn't a cop.
No, not in the comics and everything. Shout out to the comics, by the way. If you think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, go and read some of the first runs of the comics. Totally like R-rated, like brutal stuff. They're not color coded. They're all red, like really cool.
It's almost Spawn-like.
Spawn and like it's a lot of it. It's like noir-ish. It's really cool. So
super quick casting preference. Who would you cast as April Jones in this new movie? Like another young upcoming actress.
I don't know. I can't answer that without first like answering like who's the main character of this story. That's the tough thing about these movies. Like who's the centerpiece? Is it the turtles? Is it the four turtles, or is it like April Jones and her relationship with someone? Like I can't even answer that question.
Gosh, I hope not. I don't want to see any April Jones.
Here, I'll answer another question you didn't ask. I would love to see this movie focus or base the plot on the Turtles in Time video game.
Sure, that'd be fantastic.
That would be so much fun to see them hopping timelines and like jumping here and there, all for like some MacGuffin or that would be so much fun. I would love to see
that. Would be great. And we haven't seen that in a feature film version of the movie, so that would be really fun.
You're forgetting the Turtles 3, where they go back to like ancient feudal Japan or something.
Sure. Okay. Okay.
Time travel has been.
We don't need to talk about Turtles 3. The first one, cool, great.
Yeah.
Second one, all right, not bad, not bad. Third one, just completely leave it off.
Free Fight Donut. Oh, I love that first one.
Here's a question I wanted to circle back to, since you said you see a lot of children's movies.
Yeah.
What did you think about Sonic the Hedgehog? Because Sonic the Hedgehog is something that we kind of had growing up in our generation too, and I felt like they had like similar demographics that they were marketing to for the kids and the adults. So what did you think about Sonic the Hedgehog, which came out last year, I think?
Yeah. My son was so jazzed to see it, and we saw it opening weekend. I thought it was very fine. I kind of wish it had more adult humor, just more like Jim Carrey was, you know, you haven't seen Jim Carrey in quite a few years, so it was like really refreshing to see him on screen being himself and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that like the sequel is set up really well. There's a lot of room to play in the sequel, and I think it can only get better from here. So
Yeah. I felt like the bar is pretty low right now for the movie or for the sequel.
uh-huh.
I feel like the sequel. This is one case in where the sequel would be better than the original film. It was,
right.
you know, I was really excited about it. It didn't like knock my socks off. I was kind of disappointed for it, but I had to realize that it wasn't for me. It was for, I feel like it was more so for the kids than the adults. They had like some adult humor in it. I love how they the take on the rings. The rings were the portals to the worlds.
Right.
So that was super fun. You know, it wasn't marketed for me. It wasn't made for me, but I can still appreciate it as a Sonic the Hedgehog fan.
Yeah, I think all these studios should do us a favor, and they make the movie for the kids, and then at the same time they film like a 10-episode arc that can be like rated R. You know, it can be whatever it wants to be.
Yeah,
you know, because that's the Ninja Turtle show I want to see. You know, that's them really kicking ass.
Like Leonardo
in
just
the
like
streets.
slicing dudes' heads off. Is that what you're saying?
You know, actually, you know, just like with scissors chopping them clean off. Raphael with his size, how do you not stab people when you fight with size? You know, like,
and he's the angry turtle. You know
I know.
You know he's been convicted of manslaughter at least once or twice.
Yeah,
is there like a turtle's court? Like, is there like a turtle's court they go to? Like they have like Crane the Brain as a judge, and like Shredder as a prosecutor.
That's weird. Tory, let's move on. We have three more big topics that we really need to hit. Do you want to talk about Star Wars? Do you want to talk about Margot Robbie next?
Let's talk about Margot Robbie. Who doesn't want to talk about Margot Robbie?
I knew you'd say that.
Who doesn't want to talk about Margot? Why is she trending right now, Corey?
So it was announced that she is going to lead in this next part. I read it, but I can't believe it. A female-centric cast in a Pirates of the Caribbean reboot that possibly could still have Jack Sparrow in it.
Okay.
End of sentence. Okay. Yeah. So
I didn't hear the last part that he could still be in it. I'm a huge fan of Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. He's just amazing in it. Just amazing. Like, I can watch any of the Pirates movies. Not all of them are fantastic, but he is just great. He's just great. And I'm a fan of Margot Robbie. And like Wolf of Wall Street, obviously Harley Quinn. And did you see Birds of Prey?
No, I did not.
I liked it. It was a good female centric movie. It's tough that we don't have as many, especially superhero films, to compare it to. The ones I can think of off the top of my head are Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman.
How does it compare to Catwoman?
The Halle Berry one?
Yeah.
Gosh. One of my friends on Facebook is doing like he's for like the past month he's been doing polls for categories like best actors, best actresses, football players, dinner appetizers, whatever. And then like he's done like a superhero movie category, and like in the first round was Catwoman, and literally everyone on Facebook was like, why is this even a selection? Why is this a choice? We're voting for, I don't even care what it's going up against, we're going for the opposite. And then you have this one dude who's like, oh, well, Halle Berry was pretty hot. Well, yeah, Halle Berry's hot in everything she does, moron. Anyway, it was wonderful compared to Catwoman. But it was good. I love how the characters interacted with each other. I feel like if they wanted to, they could have standalone movies for all the characters of who made up the Birds of Prey. But I like her as an actress in general. Foxtrot. Wait, was it Foxtrot, the one with her and Tina Fey, where they were in Afghanistan?
I think so.
I think it was Foxtrot. I'm a big fan of hers. I think she has a really wide range. Is she a female Johnny Depp? No, I can't say that, but I think she does have a very particular set of skills. I think that she is very talented, and I'm really looking forward to seeing her take as a female. I'm presuming a pirate. I don't know. We don't know. What do you think she would be in like a Pirates of the Caribbean like movie? Like, universe?
I don't know. She I'm trying to remember Keira Knightley's like arc. She kind of became a pirate because she was royalty, and then she started to hang out with Orlando Bloom and Jack Sparrow. The Pirates movies, I really like number 1, and then after number 2, like they get really fuzzy. I've seen them all, but like I couldn't tell you a single event other than the Kraken. Like I remember that monster. But Harley Quinn would make a great pirate. She could be a janitor, and I would see that movie.
Sure.
But I don't know. Like, I just hope, I hope they have the intentions to tell the best story possible. Like I don't want them to just.
Is it the writer? I can't remember if it's the writer of Birds of Prey who's going to be writing in that movie as well.
No, so the writers are I can't remember it's the same guy from the original Pirates movies.
Oh, okay.
And then Craig Mazin, who just did the Chernobyl series on HBO, he's working with I can almost remember his name. So those two guys are rebooting the franchise.
Okay. It's nice to have. I kind of like that. It's kind of nice to have an original voice and then a new voice to bring in fresh, bright ideas to a new Pirates movie.
Right.
I'm really excited. I'm a big fan of hers. I'm excited more for just more Pirates movies because those are always just so fun. I mean, look, they're not going to win any Oscars, but they're just like, who doesn't love being freaking pirates? Like pirates, ninjas. I don't know. Like you can have those movies, and I can't get enough of them. Zombie movies, I can take a step back from now because I feel like we've had a lot of that over the past 10 years. But like, I don't know, like pirates movies, ninjas, freaking ghosts. I can't get enough of. Sure.
Yeah, there's pirates are fun. Can't argue with that. Absolutely. Yeah.
But also I gotta say, if there were a female pirate, that would be awesome because we haven't seen that in like the forefront before. And I love seeing women lead in movies. I love seeing, it's going on it's way past time that we have more diversity in movies in general. More female-led movies, more movies led by diverse cast members. But yeah, a female, like imagine like Kaya. Imagine your daughter or a little girl seeing like, oh, okay, this is another character type that I haven't seen before that I can look up to. Whether it's a Wonder Woman, whether it's a Captain Marvel, whether it's a Pirate of Caribbean, I think that's fantastic for everyone.
Yeah. No, it's me seeing it firsthand whenever, like role models, the idea of a role model, whether in the home or like in fantasy and fiction, like it paves the way for, paths in that person's mind for sure. And like seeing just like well-written, strong women character, like
I would love to see like also like, so along in that category, pirates, ninjas, cowboys or cowgirls. I would love to see like Margot Robbie starting like a 1800s Western movie where she's like leads a band of female cowgirls around town. That would be awesome too. Can you imagine her as a cowgirl? Oh man.
Sure. Absolutely. So yeah, as more develops, we'll learn.
We'll keep you guys updated.
That project. Yeah. Okay. Tory, do you want to regurgitate the Star Wars news?
Nah, dude, I defer everything Star Wars to you.
Okay, as you should. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a test. Did I pass?
Yeah. Yep. You did. You did. You have my blessing. So this is just a rumor, and it's I assume it's going to go away because it's kind of one of those like big like left field rumors. But a lot of these news outlets have jumped on it very quickly. Basically, the rumor is Disney is considering resetting the Star Wars timeline and getting rid of episode 7, 8, and 9, and then redoing 7, 8, and 9 with the people behind the Mandalorian series, guys like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. I think his name is Filoni. And yeah, and like doing a serious reboot because they're disappointed with episodes 7, 8, and 9. That's the news right now. That's the big rumor.
Solid. How do you feel about that? First of all, how do you feel about 7, 8, and 9? And then would you like to see it done over?
How do I feel about 7, 8, and 9? I have a lot of mixed feelings about 7, 8, and 9. I'll put it that way. Okay. A lot of good things, a lot of bad things. And
we're not counting Rogue One. We're not counting any of the spinoff Solo. We're not counting any of those those movies. We're just talking about specifically 7, 8, 9.
Yeah. I think I've been thinking a lot about it the past few days, and I'll just say, I could talk for an hour on like the the reception, what this chapter of like taking a brand, taking a story like this, and then like the strategy with it or the lack of strategy. Like, I think in this day and age, there are some properties that you just can't rush, and Disney proved that Star Wars is not one of those properties. Like, here, I'll sum it up this way. This is interesting. Somebody pointed this out on Twitter, a screenwriter, I forget who exactly, but he said Jurassic World 1, 2, and then number 3 will come out next year probably. If number 3 performs well, these 3 movies could make more money than Star Wars episode 7, 8, and 9 at the box office, the global box office. Jurassic World 1 is a good movie. I consider it a good movie. It's a really fun movie, and it's a soft reboot. It's a good, fun movie in a lot of ways. Number 2 didn't meet my expectations. It didn't really wow me, and it takes the story in this weird direction and whatever.
The first act of Jurassic World 2 was great. Acts 2 and 3 were garbage.
Yeah. It whatever. But like the quality of these 3 movies, like you don't expect too much out of Jurassic World to a certain degree, but with Star Wars, you expect like,
the expectations can't get higher.
They can't get higher. And you're telling me that dinosaurs are going to make more money than the Skywalker saga? Like that's unacceptable in every way, shape, and form. So I don't know how I feel about it. I don't. If these rumors gain more speed, and like you would have to. I said this to my brother. Like the idea behind a reboot would have to be so awesome, so like jaw-dropping, amazing that you couldn't say no to it. If it's anything less than that, you have to live with your mistakes,
Right.
What do you think, Tory?
I feel like you just gotta take your lumps. You tried, and you didn't necessarily fail. You just didn't meet your or others' expectations. Just move forward with it. Should you stop making movies in the Star Wars cinematic universe? Absolutely not. I want to see more Star Wars, or I want to see more productions rather. Like The Mandalorian is fantastic. I want to see more Star Wars related Universal, movies or concepts.
Yeah.
Do I want to see a reboot of 7, 8, and 9? No, because it already swung and it was a miss. At least not this soon. You can't do it literally. Episode 9 came out this past December.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're so that's 6 months ago, and you're already having rumors circulating. Nah, it's way too soon for that. But I definitely do want to see more movies or more concepts in the Star Wars universe.
I think I think another good thing to point out is um, the YouTube channel Red Letter Media. If you haven't seen their movie reviews, specifically on every Star Wars movie, they're priceless. Like they're very brash sometimes, but the points that they make are I've never heard better analysis on Star Wars movies, like really boiling down, like why some work and why some don't. But they said this thing about Star Wars that I can't get over. Star Wars is creatively bankrupt. They
Okay.
they've reached a certain point in the saga, like after episode 7, after episode 8, where like you don't you it's the exact opposite problem of Marvel. Like you have Star Wars comes to a head and then nothing comes out of it. With Marvel, like even after Thanos comes, like you have all these different directions you can go, Galactus and the Eternals and, like Doctor Doom, like you could go anywhere that you want. And with Star Wars, you don't buy something for $4 billion and then just make, like a handful of movies and then say, okay, we're done and open a theme park. Like you want to make movies for the next 50 years. And they just didn't plan ahead. They rushed episode 7, 8, and 9. Like they rushed it and they screwed themselves for, they just, I'm so upset. It gets me so upset, Tory.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But at least the Mandalorian is coming back. Don't they have a premiere date for season 2?
We should ask our buddy Eric, but I think October.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm excited I'm able to watch it now. So thank you very much again. And that's yeah, man. Let's get more of that. More of that. Would you want to see an episode 10, 11, 12 maybe in the next, in another 15, 20 years?
Yeah,
10 years even.
Like that was George Lucas's original plan, was to do 12 chapters. But I don't think they can do it now. Like they would have to restart, they'd have to restart a new story, and you don't.
Because you have to continue with
Ray.
What's her name? With Ray. Right.
You don't have to, but if you didn't,
everyone else is dead. Spoiler alert. Everyone else is dead.
Yeah. But like the point is, like Ray has no conflict right now at the end of episode 9. Like there's no, like at the end of episode 6, like everything's kind of tied up. So, what they should have done with episode 7 is like, okay, we're actually going to do 7 through 12 here, and we're going to introduce another, don't do
family.
Yeah, or just a new
regime, something.
Yeah, like hire Kevin Feige to come up with an idea that like opens up the universe, the galaxy, like a blossoming point, because that's what Star Wars needs, and it doesn't have that. And 7,
bring
8,
in
9.
Thanos. Just bring in Thanos versus Darth Vader. Yo, that'd be dope. Okay, so have you ever seen it's a show from Machinima called Superhero Beatdown?
No. Oh, yes. Yep.
So they just like make these are like Bat in the Sun. Bat in the Sun is what is this production company. They have just random characters like Wolverine versus Deadpool, or like Batman versus Darth Vader, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Who would win a fight between Thanos and Darth Vader?
Oh, Thanos, like with the gauntlet on his hand?
I'm going to say yes. Thanos with an Infinity Gauntlet full of all the Infinity Stones versus Darth Vader.
Yeah,
who wins?
Well, unless Vader uses the Force to start plucking out stones.
Can the Force counteract the stone's powers? Thoughts on that?
Ooh, well, he could keep his wrist. He could keep his hand from closing. Vader
from like his fingers from snapping.
Yeah, no, from his fingers. Ooh. From because Thanos has to do this to activate the stones. So if
Does he really? Does he have to
yeah,
close his fist and then
yes,
snap?
yes. No.
So
He doesn't need to snap. He just needs to pump his fist. He needs to close his hand to activate the stones. That's written not in the story explicitly, but the screenwriter said like that was the one rule they came up with. That's why.
So why is the snap so important then? Why did he snap and not just like close his fist? This is annoying to me. I'm really irritated by this.
It's just
I'm having a visceral reaction. I'm having a visceral reaction to this. Everything was the whole thing. No. I'm going to finish this thought. The whole thing is the snap. Right when we come back in Infinity in Endgame, when we see Spider-Man Far From Home, everyone refers to it as the snap.
Yes,
it's referred to as the snap, not the clinch. The snap, not the clinch. The snap.
Can I tell you why?
Please.
Because he has to activate all the stones. Therefore, he has to snap. A snap can only a snap activates all the stones. A pump can do 1, 2, or maybe 3, but to activate all 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, he has to snap. So there.
That's as a
screenwriter, that's what I would say to the director. Oh,
that's such a juxtaposition as to what you just said.
No, how?
You said it all he had to do was like clench his fist
to activate 1 or 2 of the stones to do smaller moves.
Okay. Yes. I remember that.
And
yes,
Vader could keep his hand apart from using it at all, and then he could throw his lightsaber and cut off his arm. So I would.
I digress. Vader could use the Force to prevent him from either clenching his fist or snapping.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
Okay. We're both right then.
Yeah.
Job well done. Pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Pat you. Yeah, there it is. Good job.
Well done, Tory. One last bit of news, which is more comic book related. So, take it. I don't know anybody who reads comic books anymore, but it's interesting. So Marvel Comics just bought the rights to the Aliens and the Predators and the Alien versus Predators storylines from Dark Horse. It's interesting because Disney bought the film rights to those properties, Aliens and Predators, but they didn't have the comic book rights because Disney owns Marvel comics and studios, blah blah blah. But so I love the Alien and Predator comics. Like those are such good. They're drawn so well and the stories are so cool. Like it's so awesome. So I'm really jazzed because we should be getting more storylines, and that should help feed into some more movies coming out of the Xenomorphs because Disney now owns that as well. Disney owns everything. So hopefully on Disney Plus, we'll see some amazing runs of something sooner opposed to later.
I was just going to say I would love to see like a Alien series or a Predator series or a VP series. Yeah. That would be fantastic. Imagine. Okay, all right. I already know your answer. Already know your answer. But would you like to see a crossover between the Xenomorphs and Star Wars? Let's say a Mandalorian comes across the Predator.
No, not even an inch of me. I'm a purist. Like I don't even like broaching the idea of like Vader versus Thanos. Like my head kind of says, no, stop it. Like I want to, those toys. I never play, when as a child, I would never combine the toys, you stay in your box, Vader, I'm playing with I didn't have a Thanos. Who knew Thanos back then? But
nobody did.
Yeah. No. So no.
It sounds like you're the type of person who doesn't like your food touching on a plate. Like you can't. You're like your mashed potatoes have to be separate from your greens, which have to be separate from your steak. You can't like.
I'll put it this way, Tory. When I go to Pyology or whatever that pizza place is, I only get combinations that fit well together. I don't just put everything on it like some people.
You just got raw chicken. That's what you got. You got raw chicken on your pizza.
I did not.
It was barely cooked. Versus me, I like a variety of flavors.
And they drown each other out. You can't taste them. It's terrible. Like you're wasting your money. You're wasting your money.
Incorrect. You can take. This isn't a pizza.
And then you put
podcast.
like barbecue sauce or whatever on the top. It's like, what are you doing?
I did not put barbecue sauce. I don't know what you're talking about. Barbecue sauce is never has been on my pizza.
You put something.
Olive oil. I put olive oil at the end. A little bit of olive oil.
That's fine, but you had like 10 toppings, and that was ridiculous.
You can taste everything.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. This isn't a pizza podcast, Cord. This is a television and film industry related podcast. This isn't a food. We're not going to invite Gordon Ramsay to come in and talk to us about different plates.
Yeah. No, but we would have Jon Favreau, and I would ask him Star Wars cooking questions, because I love his show on Netflix, The Chef. Yeah. What a great show. If you haven't seen that, go watch it right now.
What was his movie?
It was also Chef. It was also called Chef. Yeah.
That was a fantastic movie. Where did Jon Favreau get his start from? Like, do you know
his
story?
Yeah. He made an independent film called Swingers. That was he wrote and directed and starred in Swingers with Vince Vaughn. It filmed over partly in Atwater Village, Tory. Yep. You know that golf course that we went to maybe once? Yeah. They filmed a big scene there. And then that was his breakout thing. He was in Rudy, and then he got a few roles. And then it's funny because we see him. He's a guest star on the show Friends every few episodes, and we watch Friends way too much. My son like recognizes him, and then we watch his show that the Netflix show where he's a totally different person. He's 20 years older, and my son's like, that's the same guy. He's had a really amazing, and he directed Iron Man. Like, he went from an actor doing acting gigs, and then he got a lot of directing gigs, and now he did The Mandalorian. It's amazing. His resume is awesome, just awesome.
Yeah. From literally on screen to producing to writing to directing, he is a jack of all trades.
Yeah, he did Elf too, the Christmas movie Elf. It's crazy. Comedies, Star Wars, everything.
Wait, with Will Ferrell?
Yeah, with Will Ferrell.
What did he do? Did he write it? Direct it?
He directed it.
You know what? I still have yet to see that movie. I still
really?
have yet to see Elf. Yeah.
It's good. It's fun. It's
a classic. I know so many lines from it. Bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad. Like, I know so many lines from it, but yet I have never seen a movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. It's on at Christmas time, so we'll have to watch it.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Tory, where can they find us on the internet?
Man, they can find us on all the socials. They can find us on Twitter and Instagram by searching at Cord and Tory Show. On Facebook, you just type in the Cord and Tory Podcast Show, and they can listen to this podcast on iTunes.
That's right.
Our YouTube too. We have a YouTube channel as well.
Yes, but we are back on iTunes and not on SoundCloud anymore. So we don't need to mention SoundCloud.
Don't no.
But Overcast and on iTunes. Get your Cord and Tory, the latest Cord and Tory episode every time we record, which we can't promise is every week, but we try.
We do. We really do.
We really do. Well,
yes. What a fantastic episode, number 69. Thank you for doing this, Cord. Thank me for doing this, Tory. You're welcome, Tory. I enjoy talking to you both. It's a fantastic time every time all three of us get together. And wow, to our audience, thank you. To our loyal listeners, just give a special shout out to your brother, Cord. Isn't he? Did he just celebrate something?
Yeah, it's his birthday, July 2nd.
It's his birthday. Today. Happy birthday. Happy
birthday, Cash. Well done. Well done.
Yes. Well done,
I guess we will see you guys all next episode. Tori's favorite number, 70, coming up.
This is not it's just a lead in, but a way to throw it back into a toss back of one of my favorite numbers, two of my favorite individual numbers in which I put them together on my jerseys are 37. So I guess if you flip that, it would be 73. So we're coming up on a cool number, 73, because I like both of those numbers, 3 and 7.
Yes. Everyone was dying to know that. So that's good.
Yeah. You're welcome.
All right, Tory, thank you so much. And I will see you soon. All right, bud?
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right. Bye, listeners. Peace.